Hey guys, really quick. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Also, if you agree with me, feel free to share on the social media platform of your choice. The links in the articles I talk about will be posted in the description if you are looking for further reading. Hello and good afternoon. This is my fourth COVID-19 update. It is April the 20th, 2020. First, the good. More and more articles are coming out showing that the mortality rate of the virus is much lower than the 2 to 4% used in the models that led us to the overreaching shutdowns by all levels of our government. A study done by Stanford University suggests the actual mortality rate is much closer to that of the flu. The study showed that the infection rates were 50 to 85 times more common than officials indicated. What does that mean? Well, in short, many people have had the virus than was reported with mild or no symptoms. If the number of cases is higher by the orders of magnitude Stanford suggests, then the mortality rate of the disease is much lower than is being reported. As stated by The Guardian, at the time of the study, Santa Clara County had 1,094 confirmed cases of COVID-19, resulting in 50 deaths. But based on the rate of participants who have antibodies, the study estimates it's likely between 48,000 and 81,000 people had been infected in Santa Clara County by early April. That also means the coronavirus is potentially much less deadly to the overall population than initially thought. As of Tuesday, the U.S.'s coronavirus death rate was 4.1%, and Stanford researchers said their findings show the death rate of just 0.12 to 0.2%. A study in the municipality of Ganglet, Germany, shows almost identical results. A blood antibody test of their residents found that 14% of the population was already immune, meaning have had the virus already. 2% were actively infected, and the actual death rate was around 0.37%, much lower than the Johns Hopkins calculated death rate of 2%. The virus is simply not as deadly as first thought, and that is a really good thing. Also, on the good front, President Trump is starting to push for reopening along with a number of governors. This news is great if you are one of the 22 million Americans that filed for unemployment last week. Yes, you heard that right. 22 million people out of work based on fear-mongering and faulty reporting. The trails I mentioned in Conroe, Texas that were closed 2 weeks ago are reopened now. Driving by them this afternoon, I could see families fishing. It's a beautiful sight. This comes under Texas Governor Abbott's Phase 1 reopening. It is great news that people will be able to walk outside again without fear of arrest and fines from the watchdogs of the local governments. Sadly, this reopening will not be soon enough to save many businesses. 2 long-term restaurants in Austin, Texas have permanently closed. The Magnolia Cafe and North by Northwest. The Island Golf Course and Restaurant in Plaquemine, Louisiana has permanently closed. The list of small businesses that will never reopen could go on and on and on. That is truly terrible and so damaging to so many lives that relied on those small businesses for their chosen careers. The good that is coming from all of this, though, is that the hard-working, free American people are waking up and starting to protest this overreach by the government. Many protests were held this weekend in many states. Tennessee, Oregon, Illinois, California, Montana, Ohio, Michigan, Louisiana, Colorado, and Washington State, just to name a few. People are fed up with having their First Amendment right to assemble trampled on. People are fed up being laid off and told they are not allowed to work. The cost of the cure is much worse than the virus, and people are starting to open their eyes and see it. It is a beautiful thing. Here are the stats from Colorado to illustrate that point. As of Sunday evening, Colorado has 9,433 confirmed cases of coronavirus and 411 recorded deaths. The pandemic and stay-at-home orders have wreaked havoc on the state's economy, with more than 232,000 people filing for unemployment in the last 4 weeks. People are waking up, and that is a very good thing. The bad. Police officers across the country have been forcefully arresting and fining people for not following whatever draconian law that particular area's authority has put into place. In extreme instances, the officers used no discretion for what social distancing practices the people were taking and refused to process the actual risk of spreading the contamination the people were posing. In California, police arrested a man for paddleboarding alone, apparently to protect the fish from the virus. A father in Colorado was cuffed in front of his daughter while they played t-ball at a park alone. I'm so glad to see the good people of the state of Colorado protesting this tyranny. I brought to you last week the story of the Greenville police writing tickets at a parking lot church service. I commend Governor Reeves for pretty much saying don't do that after it happened, but at the same time it was his shelter-in-place laws that allowed them to do it in the first place. In Philadelphia, 2 white male police officers drug a black man off a train and threw him to the ground for not wearing a face mask. 2 months ago, that injustice would have been on the front page of 90% of newspapers in the country for racial bias. Where's that outrage now? It is a disgusting abuse of power and must stop. Of course, with the bad there is good. I must applaud the sheriff of Alcorn County, Mississippi. When Mississippi's shelter-in-place orders went into effect, he made the following statement in a Facebook post. I have had several calls and questions regarding the Alcorn County Sheriff's Office response to Governor Reeves' order to shelter in place. It is always our mission to keep the citizens of the country safe and secure. We have also taken an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Mississippi. The Alcorn County Sheriff's Office will not be stopping vehicles to determine if you are on essential business or not. We trust that our citizens will follow the request from the governor. However, the sheriff's office is still open and will continue to be on patrol in the county every day, just like always. I think it is a truly honorable to know that as a law enforcement officer, your first duty is to protect the citizenry and uphold the Constitution. In some cases, that can absolutely mean to protect them from their local government. Also, the bad continues with the overreaching governors who are seeing the numbers and still refusing to reduce restrictions or try to get people back to work. Edwards in Louisiana clearly stated that his state will not be one of the ones trying to reopen in May. I would like to ask Mr. Edwards why he feels that those in North Louisiana should be under the same constraints as those in South Louisiana, when the virus is affecting both so differently. I would like to ask him why. Is he so obtuse when it comes to gradually reopening the state? I would like to ask him frankly if he is doing this for political reasons or for the monetary gains Louisiana is seeing from the federal spending bills during this time. It does seem that the Democratic-led states are much more hesitant to accept new numbers, data, and theories on the virus than Republican-led ones. I dislike all government when it is inflating at the expense of the populace, but it seems like Democrats want to use this to force their disjointed brand of socialism, full government control, on the country at the edge of a knife called COVID-19. Finally, my opinion. I'd like to start by reading a few excerpts from articles I've found. Blasio urges New York to snitch on social distance rule breakers. We still know there's some people who need to get the message, and that means sometimes making sure the enforcement is there to educate people and make clear we've got to have social distancing. Hazaner said in a video posted to Twitter. To do that is simple, he explained. Snap a photo of an offending person or crowd, set the location on the image, and text it to 311692. Really? Apple is the latest tech company to tap its troves of consumer data to help public officials fight the coronavirus. Apple, whose claim is to put your privacy as their top priority. Unicast, a data company that collects and provides cell phone location data and analysts to retail, real estate, marketing, and tourism industries, recently revealed something called the Social Distancing Scoreboard. The scoreboard is an interactive map that assigns letter grades to every state and county in America based on how well Unicast data analyst infers that its residents are practicing social distancing. It is the first product from the company's new COVID-19 Location Data Toolkit And over the coming days and weeks, more location data will be added that the company hopes will show trends and patterns. Last week, Californians began calling the police to report neighbors who were coughing. The New York Post reported that multiple police departments in Southern California say they have been receiving more 911 calls from residents concerned that their coughing neighbor may have the coronavirus. How sad. In Kentucky, the governor set up a hotline. When you call, you get this message. By working together and being good neighbors, we are going to get through this. I want to thank you for calling the COVID-19 reporting hotline. The purpose of this line is to report observations of noncompliance with restrictions on workplace and public gatherings that Kentucky has taken to stop the spread of the coronavirus and keep your family safe. I don't need you to keep my family safe, and if you think you're being a good neighbor by calling a governor on me, I'd rather not have you as a neighbor. When politicians start urging the population to snitch on others that are simply not falling in line with decrees from said politicians, we have a serious problem. We are in a situation where we're teaching our children to fear and hate their neighbors. We're teaching them that it is okay to call an authority and report them simply because they do not have the same belief structure. You can see this on Facebook posts and comments on articles. People that, if afraid of the virus, could easily self-isolate, but that is not enough for them. We have reached a point in our society where we want Big Brother to step in and enforce the rules that Big Brother has told us we need. They create the problems and then sell us the solutions, and we fall in line. They ask us to call in and tell on our neighbors, and we do so. Remember, Big Brother is watching. We allow them to track us with our cell phones and video monitoring. Remember, Big Brother is watching. We allow them to arrest us for no harm and victimless crimes that 4 weeks ago were not only legal activities but encouraged. Remember, Big Brother is watching. We allow them to shame us for using our minds for rational thought and making our own decisions. Remember, Big Brother is watching. We let them turn us against each other because we are easily controlled that way. Remember, Big Brother is watching. Yes, that is a reference to Orwell's 1984, and we need to make it required reading again. If you have not read it, please do. The most memorable quote from the book, "War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength." We are suffering from that hilarity right now. They have taken a new strain of an old virus and convinced society it is much worse than it is and that we are at war with it. They have even gone so far as to compare it to Pearl Harbor and 9/11. War is peace. Fox News trotted out Staff Sergeant Johnny Jones a few weeks ago to make the following statement. "Let me tell you this. You will get through this. The fear and pain will subside, and in its place a renewed appreciation for your freedoms and safety like you have never known." Freedom is slavery much? Exactly what freedom is this man who swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution talking about? We are living in a land where government can instigate totalitarian authority simply by claiming a state of emergency. And that means that we are slaves and have not freedom. They can shut down our private business and arrest us for leaving our homes, and you talk of freedom. We have become slaves to our ruling class, and we revel in it. Ignorance is strength. If this pandemic has shown me anything, it is the truth that we as society will protect our ignorance above anything else. We have lost the ability to learn and apply what we have learned. We cannot perform simple math, so we must believe every number that we are given. We cannot do research, so we must believe what is told to us. We would rather spend hour after hour scrolling through Facebook and Instagram instead of using the computer in our hand to do something valuable. We have chosen ignorance and found bliss in it. It is damn shameful. I stand with those that will protest this overreach and overreaction. I applaud those in power who are speaking out against this tyranny. I will shake my neighbor's hand and share my home and food with my friends. I will not teach my girls to fear their peers, but instead show them how to give love and help freely. We are the free citizens of the United States of America. Join or die.